Good. Excellent. I'd like to call to order the July 19th, 2023 regular meeting of the school committee. Can we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would also like for us to take a moment of reflection, if we could bow our heads, open our hearts. Thank you all. I will consider a motion to enter into an executive session under RIGL section 42-46-5A2 via roll call.
Second. Travisati,
Aye.
Anna Ayotte,
Aye.
Megan Gonzalez,
Aye.
Susan Kinane,
Aye.
Mike Rocha.
Aye. Power down, and we are going to enter into executive session.
Ready when you are.
I am. You're ready. All right.
Oh, I have 7 drivers.
I'd like to welcome everyone back to open session. There were no votes taken in executive session, and I will consider a motion to seal the minutes from executive session.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions regarding the minutes? If that's the case, I will ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda items 4.1 through 4.5.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now, right into the spotlight. Item 5.1, summary report of bullying related issues.
Hard to call them spotlights, but certainly have to.
Hard to call it.
We did have 4 instances in the spring and truly mid to late spring of investigations that went on into bullying. I don't think there was any doubt that 3 of them were considered bullying. And one was kind of borders on it, but I don't think it came to the level of bullying. But again, the one thing about our Wilbur McMahon students is conflict takes place everywhere. On the playgrounds, I think when they realize that they've hurt the feelings of others, I think there is certainly a sense of remorse in realizing that what they were doing was wrong. And just addressing it with them does usually change their behaviors. So 4 instances, investigations into bullying.
Thank you, Principal McKinnon.
You,
All right, moving right along to item 6, the superintendent report.
Oh, it's going to be a long one. I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's easier that was.
Well, this is an update on our Student Support Services Department, brand spanking new. After the lightning speed dissolution of the 45-year-old Regional Special Education Collaborative, I have to say, Little Compton's first ever Student Support Services Department is up and running and preparing for the 2023-2024 school year. To be blunt, it was a heavy lift for all involved. But the new director and administrative assistant have already met with another special ed director in the East Bay to discuss specialized programs for kids. They've met with a staff member from the Autism Project. We hosted them yesterday. They've met with staff from Bristol County Rehabilitation Services. They are the vendor for related services when it comes to special education, OT, and PT. They have registered for ride workshops around KidsNet and also around just how child outreach is sort of kickstarted in the summer for our 2023-2024 preschool and so forth. And so that's a brand new program for this district to oversee and administer. So a lot of training is ongoing and planned. They will also be touring our director, Mark Dufresne, Portsmouth's schools and their specialized program offerings. They are engaged in summer trainings for screeners for our preschool program. Right now, we're focused a lot on, kickstarting all those new processes to the school department. All those new ones regarding early childhood, preschool, pre-K, all new. Many of us are out of our depth. We've spent our careers in secondary ed and higher ed and middle schools, and it's been a steep learning curve. I have to give a shout out to Mark Dufresne and Mariah Dufour. They have been amazing. They've localized dozens of required documents. They've created secure online portals. They're coming up to speed regarding the system that we use for our IEP generation and also storage, TiNet. They hosted yesterday our first ever screening that was offered by our district. And along with Mark Dufresne and Mariah Dufer working nonstop for the past 2 weeks, I have to give a shout out to our custodians and our IT department. They have created a beautiful space for this new department with a conference table and so forth. In the past, all IEP meetings were in Mr. McKinnon's office at the smallest table I think I've ever seen. So there will be ample space and just room for families and even little kids that some of our family members bring to some of the meetings. Just a full-fledged department for the first time ever. So the dissolution certainly came at lightning speed, but I'd say it is, as my mother would say, a bad for a good. The dissolution will give us more control over our special ed processes, and also we can innovate without all the red tape with another administrative layer sort of above us. Our custodians had to head over to Oliphant in Middletown and grab 3 huge metal file cabinets with all of the hard copy files. And so the archived files and also active IEPs of our kids here. And so everyone has been involved in building this department. And we're all going through trainings, Zoom, G-Meet, and in person. We're hosting people on site, traveling to other districts, and that's all in 2 weeks. So it's been fast and furious, but it's a pretty exciting time, I have to say. And I'm going to give a shout out to Jonathan because he provisioned the new department with all the requisite tech that they need. Cell phones for confidential communications and so forth with case managers and related service providers, et cetera, and new laptops and all the dashboards and all the access. So thank you so much, Jonathan. You have been incredible. And also our incredible custodial staff. We had a group meeting here earlier and they mentioned how clean our building is, and it's just awesome. I said, oh, thank you so much. Another area of student support services that I'd like to bring up is, if you may not remember this, but in my May 5th Friday night memo, I included an entry noting that I had met with Tony Texera, and we also folded Bob Mushin in to prepare for a Zoom back in May with Governor McKee's office regarding his Learn 365 RI initiative. The initiative is one of his platforms, the governor's platforms, in terms of student achievement. He wants Rhode Island's students to meet and exceed achievement levels that Massachusetts students have earned. Of course, reform took place there about 25 years ago, and reform here is relatively new. It's in its infancy, but he is putting his money where his mouth is. And I'm happy to say that on June 30th, the deadline to submit, the town of Little Compton, the Little Compton Community Center and Little Compton School Department jointly submitted an application for an advanced learning beyond the 180-day school year grant, the longest name for a grant program I think I've ever encountered, part of Governor McKee's Learn 365 initiative. The goal is to fully fund the community center's after-school program for the entire school year. And also to innovate, to add some academic and instructional supports there. And a few days after we submitted, we received a message stating that the preliminary review looks good. And then last week we heard from the governor's office and from RIDE that on August 23rd, on a Wednesday at 11 a.m. at Town Hall, there will be a compact signing event, and Mr. Mushin will be representing the town council. Any one of us, we can all go and represent the school department, and the community center will also be there. And it's the town really that signs the compact. The governor wants municipalities to collaborate and partner with their school departments and their community-based organizations, 501c3s, like the community center. And we did it. We've asked for $50,000, which is the maximum for a school district of our size, and I think we're going to get it. And so I thank everyone who was a part of this, Tony Texera, Bob Marsham, and the staff at the community center, including Amy Mooney and her substitute. You know, I feel like her name escapes me, but I
Samantha.
Samantha. And she did Samantha Snow. Thank you. I think I chased her signature down at her business. So I was running around town and I had to chase Tony Texera down, hunted him down. And so we did submit on time and we've been approved. So the town should be very proud. I think this is the first ever compact between 3 municipal organizations, public and nonprofit. And yeah, our kids will benefit.
Thank you, Lori.
That's about it.
Thank you. Moving right along. Item 7, Mr. John McNamee with the finance report.
Okay, so we have a preliminary year-end number, and I say preliminary because the expenses still continue to roll in at this point in time. So if you look at the projection, I'd be looking at somewhere around $262,000 in surplus, but you got to remember that includes the $74,000 that we got from Newport County Regional. So you have to kind of pull that out of there. And again, with the payables coming down, I'm looking at probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 215, of which if you back the 75 out of that, we'd be looking at about $140,000 surplus for the year. And again, you know, if you look at the purchase other services, which includes our out-of-district tuition, which is at Portsmouth High School, that's in our out-of-district special education tuitions. That's where the savings are in those 2 items. So we have a lot of year-end expenses. We'll have some startup costs on the special education that will roll into 23. So you know, we'll clearly end the year with the surplus, and probably look at transferring some amount over to the capital reserve so that we've got sufficient funds to move forward with those capital projects that we've estimated to complete for next year. I've submitted the estimated housing aid forms to RIDE for next year, which includes the auditorium upgrade, the arts classroom, the kitchen upgrade, and of course the solar as well in there too. So, and as a quick update on the solar, as it stands now, we have the $75,000 from the state grant, and that was one that was the maximum we could get from the state. I believe we should be in good shape if we don't already have the approval for the 30% from the feds on the total price. So those 2 grants are in place. We will submit probably over the next month the preliminary plans to RIDE for approval. I think we should have minimum review by RIDE because with the grant from the feds and the state, it brings it down below the 500,000, which is a different level of review from RIDE. So I think we're going to be in good shape. And when I look at, we started the one in Lincoln probably 6 months ago using a different company, and we haven't seen any of the activity that we've seen so far. So these guys seem to be doing a great job and moving forward with this thing. So
Good to hear.
I'm pleased with the progress that we've made.
Excellent, John. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Just one question.
Go ahead.
So when do you project to see all of our money received from all these grants in the state and what as far as for that to come back?
So so for example, the 75 that's been approved by the state,
Right,
assuming that once the project is complete, they'll forward that grant money to us, and we'll reimburse Newport Renewables. I'm not sure on the timing on the feds. I'm assuming that I don't know if that's a reimbursable grant similar to what our ride grants are. So we have to spend the money and then submit the completed project with a certificate of completion and those kinds of things. So that may go out a little further, but once we complete it, we'll have sufficient cash flow to complete it, obviously with the town money, with some of the money we've got set aside. We've got some pay-go money from our housing aid that we have available. So from a cash flow standpoint, we'll be in good shape, but we're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna be waiting months after the project is completed for us to get that money.
is there a schedule in place? A work schedule in place?
Well, no, because at this point, one of the key elements was that we had to get the approvals on the Fed and the state before they move forward with any type of scheduling of the project. Because we had the ability to back out of the project if we hadn't got that money. So I would suspect that they're going to line up. I don't think it's going to take them long to get those panels up there. You know, so I think the next one I think is going to be getting the Red Island Energy on board and get the approval. They'll analyze our electric rates and make sure that, you know, this is something that we're going to be able to meet in terms of the amount of electricity that we're using. You know, they don't want you to overbuild on it, but I think we'll be okay in that. They've done the preliminary estimates on those things anyway.
Okay, so basically we're just in a holding pad until everything gets approved, from what I'm understanding.
Well, no, they're moving forward on these things. You know, I'm assuming at some point they'll order the equipment if they don't already have it. You know, I don't think there's a lead time on that equipment at this point that I'm aware of.
Thank you, John. All right, item 8, committee reports. Let's start with 8.1, the policy subcommittee report. Ms. Hannah, yeah.
Thank you. The policy subcommittee meeting was rescheduled. It will now take place next Tuesday, July 25th at 10:30 a.m. So I'll have more to update you with at next month's regular meeting.
Thank you very much. Item 8.2 is the scholarship subcommittee report. And I'm pleased to announce that Sue and myself met. We reviewed the scholarship applications. One thing I will share is if you are a student, I would say if you're going to submit to the Little Compton, submit to all of them, read the instructions thoroughly, and make sure you're putting in some sort of a personal profile, maybe, you know, a little bit about yourself. We had, you know, like I said, good applicants, but some folks just weren't as thorough as others. So we did award our scholarships, and we will be presenting those at the August meeting. Beautiful. Item 8.3, the Portsmouth School Committee liaison report. They actually have a school committee meeting in Portsmouth tonight, which is odd that I think it's a special meeting. It's something I want to say about approving monies or transferring monies that they have in dissolved accounts, and they have a ton of projects, and not just at Portsmouth High School. But what I can bring you all up to speed with, Superintendent Kenworthy is the chair of the East Bay Educational Collaborative. I'd assume that it's good to have the superintendent of one of your schools as the head of, or as the chair of this committee. Miss Morgan Casey won the state high jump. She's the state champion for high jump. I don't believe she is a Little Compton student, but still nonetheless a great recognition for the school. Dr. Jeffrey Heath, who is the new principal, has at this point, I'm told, reached out to every stakeholder. So if you're a parent, you've received an email from him. Am I understanding this correctly?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, does anybody reach out to you saying, hey, when am I going to hear something about this?
Or did he send that,
Know him so well, Jack and I.
Or was that to parents, or was that just to like,
Must be to parents and students.
seems so thorough, very nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah, he seems like he's going to be very active and accountable as a leader over there. I'm excited for our students and our state.
Wonderful.
And then the final piece I want to share, I know we're kind of into the mix of it. You know, last week it would have been a little fresher in terms of starting, but from 7/10 to August the 3rd, they're doing ESSER over there. And that is the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund. And what I did not realize is that this is grant money that is provided to the school district. And this is a no out of pocket for the families that participate in these programs. So we have extended school year for students with IEPs that qualify. There is the high school summer school for students that are close, but maybe have a little things to make up so they can graduate. And then they're even doing the agricultural initiative and putting our middle school students out into the farm area, which is booming. It's not just plants and flowers. I think there's chickens out there now. There's fish. There's all sorts of things going on at the farm. So that's a very exciting thing for us as a partner school to kind of see that doing. We live in, I'm told that this is a farming community, so we could very well do something like that as we're doing that here with our Oasis and stuff like that. So that's what's going on at Portsmouth. Item 8.4, our wellness committee liaison report. Ms. Sue Panay.
Nothing to report. We're done meeting for the year. We already told last time that the policy was having a redo update.
Ready to go.
Awesome, Sue. Thank you very much. And finally, 8.5, the Town Recreation Committee liaison report, Mr. Michael Rocha.
Going forward, all of the requests for the facility uses will be done through the website. And that a request will be pushed out through 2 different members for approval in between meetings, but will be brought back to the full committee at the next meeting. So that's something that's going to be new. So instead of trying to track down individuals, you'll just do it through a website.
Awesome.
And other than that, we are creating pages within the website for individuals such as the pickleball, tennis courts, use. So again, if people want to be part of that, or if they want more information on that, they'll be able to go to the recreation website and see who the contact person is and be able to get in contact with that person. So it's not a guessing game.
Perfect. Well done.
In the basketball under the lights, I got word the other day that they had an average of about 20 students participate every week for the month of June.
Nice.
That's it.
Can I ask a quick question? How, about the website? Are you advertising that there is a website for?
We're gonna be pushing it out. Yeah, I was in conversation today with Mr. Martian about that, but that's gonna be being pushed out so that right now it's who do you contact and who do you talk to? And we're gonna eliminate that. So
Awesome.
basically everybody's gonna be directed to that one thing. And the 2 points of contact are gonna be Dave McGregor and Patrick McHugh. In between that, they'll be able to approve things if it's in between meetings and somebody needs to use something so that we don't have to wait for the next monthly meeting.
Yeah, it was super easy to register the kids through the web, for the basketball under the lights, and
Love to hear
it
it.
was like 2 clicks and they loved it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Item 9.1, public input. Roger, tell me something good.
Zero today.
That's it tonight? All right. Move on to our action items. Item 10.1, we're going to consider, so ultimately, we have the Doris Simmons Scholarship where we bring the total award to $300. So I will ask for a motion to match $150, bringing the Doris Simmons Scholarship amount to $300.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We will vote via roll call.
Ms. Audi,
Aye.
Hannah Ayotte,
Aye.
Megan Gonzalez,
Aye.
Susan Canine,
Aye.
Mike Rocha,
Aye. Excellent. The motion carries. Item 10.2. I will consider a motion to vote and authorize the withdrawal from the PC 2019-10-870 Town of Barrington and versus State of Rhode Island.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We will vote via roll call.
Travis Audi,
Aye.
Hannah Ayotte,
Aye.
Megan Gonzalez,
Aye.
Susan Canine,
Aye.
Mike Rocha,
Aye.
Item 10.3 is about the school department calendar.
Mhm.
You want to?
Absolutely.
elaborate on that? I'm not sure if the calendar attached is the updated one.
Should be. I did check it.
All right, well, go ahead. Wax book. Maybe that's not right.
Carolyn. You sure?
No, well, I'm looking at that, yeah.
yeah, modified. The last day.
Yes, yep, so the last day was the.
I just don't think it says which day is off now, because we're changing it due to the election in September, correct?
Right, April 2nd. She not? Oh, yes, where she highlighted it.
Yeah, I see it highlighted.
Okay.
That's the
She
wrong-
works her magic. She's been doing it for about 8 years, but she forgot to highlight the 2nd. That's fine. That's cool.
It's August this, or April the 2nd?
Yes, the General Assembly voted last month to change the presidential primary from the April date that fell during April break.
Yes.
And so every district in the state has had to tweak their instructional calendars. And April 2nd is no longer a school day, doesn't count towards the 180. And so rather than get out on Friday, the 14th of June, it will be the Monday. We hate that. It's messy. Send your children anyway, please. So that's what that's about. But, that's just odd. I'm reasonably certain it was highlighted.
It's bolded, but it says end of third quarter.
Right,
Oh,
it's all good. So the last day it has changed, and that's the most
Yes.
salient piece of all of this that will affect families.
See the best Monday of their lives. Final day of school. Something to look forward to.
You never want to go over that one.
I know. I know, we didn't.
Thank you, General Assembly. But that's where we are. So that's not up yet. So once you say yes and
Okay.
so that is color coded and duly noted in the notes at the bottom, the little legend there.
Okay, so I will. Sean, do I have to indicate what dates are being changed?
No, you can simply have a motion to update the school calendar.
Perfect, perfect. I'll consider a motion to approve the updated school calendar.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Beautiful. We'll vote via roll call.
Travis Audi,
Aye.
Hannah Ayotte,
Aye.
Megan Gonzalez,
Aye.
Susan Canine,
Aye.
Mike Rocha.
Aye. And then finally, item 10.4, do any school committee members have any requests or information from admin or legal counsel? If there are no requests, I will consider a motion to adjourn the July 19th school committee meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.